Hello everyone, this is Gwydion, and on today's video, I want to show you how to send audio to your players for Sirenscape and VLC if you upload your own sound files. The reason I'm creating this video is with the launch of Fantasy Grounds Unity 4.4, there's a lot more audio functionality, but you still need to have a way to send audio to your players. There's some great videos by Bain that show how to do this with Kinku FM and get the audio into Discord. And I think that's a great option. And honestly, that probably works for maybe 90% of people. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the audio quality in Discord, and I struggle at times with getting that audio to sound how I want it. So it is definitely the easiest and most convenient way to go for your players. But in this video, I'm going to give you a couple options, one that's free and one that's paid. So right now, I'm assuming that you've already got 4.4 loaded. You have the VLC extension, which I will link in the video. And that was put out by one of the SmiteWorks employees. I'm sorry, I can't think of who the name is, but I'm assuming you have those. You can see if you don't have the VLC extension loaded, then when you open sound setting, you're only going to see file in Sirenscape. So I've got the VLC control up here. I've got the sound control for Sirenscape here. And I'll walk through how I'm setting this up. So ultimately, we're going to look at two different programs, and I'm going to go to my incognito windows first. So the two programs, and I did a video on this about 5 years ago, and it's still a good option. You can use Cleanfeed, which is a completely free solution. You do not have to sign up for the pro version to make this work, how I'm showing it to you. So Cleanfeed, and you can also use a program called Audiomovers. Now, I use Audiomovers, but it does come with a cost. So I'll show you the pricing model, and I use the basic version. So full disclosure, I've typically paid the $99 per year, $100 per year, which comes out to $833 a month, but you do have to pay up front, and that's the toggle down here. You go to monthly, it's more. But if you pay for a year up front, it's $100. They give me a discount this year, so I got it for half off just because I've used them now for a few years, and you know, I've supported them for quite a while. So I'll get into the functionality, but a lot more options on quality if you want to go this route. So let's get into how I'm going to set this up. I'm using Voicemeeter Potato. So you would need to use Voicemeeter Banana at least. And what I'm going to show you is I have this set up to where my Sirenscape app, the web player, is going to play back through Voicemeeter aux. And I've already set that up, so it's going to come through this input. I've got my VLC player just for the purposes of this video going through VAIO 3 input, just so I can show you how that looks. And then I'll show you kind of how each of these is set up. So the first thing I want to show you how to do is make sure that you set up VLC player to play back and then transmit wherever you want it to transmit. And I'll show you what I mean by that. In my case, I'm going to be sending the output of the Sirenscape web player to B3, which is VAIO3 output in Voicemeeter Potato. And then I'm going to send the output of VLC player, that playback, also to B3, so that these two things are going to go out to either Cleanfeed or Audiomovers. You'll notice that, like my mic, I'm just sending straight into OBS, but even if I was listening to my mic, you don't want to send your mic out there as well. You want your mic just to go directly into Discord or whatever voice over IP you're using, but you don't want to send your mic also into this, these audio programs. So let's open up VLC. Let me close this down. Just down for a second to make it easier. Okay, so VLC Media Player, remember, to set this up with the extension, you need the older version of VLC, which I believe is 2.0. You look at about, it should not say 3.0 or 1 point something. It should say 2.0. Okay, so let's close that. And let's go under Tools, Preferences. And you're going to go to the audio interface. And you're going to select all so you can see the advanced settings. I'm going to go up to audio output modules. And then you might just have to do this with wave out. You can leave the output module. Actually, I think this as default, this top thing here. I changed both DirectFX and wave out to wherever I wanted to send this. So this is just where it's going to play back in Voicemeeter. So I set it to VAIO input 3. So what that means is it's going to play through this strip. I could have put it to VA, just Voicemeeter input, could put it through aux, but I just wanted to show you, I'm going to separate it here. So it's going to play back through 3. This was already checked, and I would say go ahead and check it. That's part of Voicemeeter. So I would say DirectX and wave output change to wherever you want this to play back. So once you have that set up, then you're going to go in and you're going to sign up for an account on Cleanfeed. And it's a free account. So once you get it logged in, signed up, you'll come into here and you have a couple of toggles. You have this gear here, and then you're going to drop down and you're going to send the output here to whatever output you want to, based on what you set up to in Voicemeeter. So as I mentioned, I'm sending out to VAIO3 output. So in this case, that's B3. So these two strips are going to go out into Cleanfeed. Okay, and then you want this selected to both. I think this is already preset. There's some settings you can't change unless you have the Pro version. And then the output, this you can't change again, but you don't need to. You really aren't going to worry about listening to this. You're just sending it out to the players. Okay. So the way you're going to get your players to connect is you're going to hit this connect plus sign. Then you're going to come up with this email invite. So you'll notice again, there's some pro functionality that are grayed out. But what you're going to do is make sure you click this advanced. And then for each of your players, note this language down here. Each of these invite codes you can only use once. So it'll set up the name of your player. So if you want to say like, I don't know, Lazy Stooner plays with me a lot. So I'll say Lazy Stooner. And you can't change this. So this is only good for 24 hours. So you'll want to do this shortly before your session. And then connect on use, you can't change that. Send by email, you will change to I'll share the link myself. So then you just hit invite. And now you've got the link. So you're going to copy this link and give this to your players. Now, you can put this into like a story entry or the message of the day. If I copy and paste that link here, you can see it shows up in chat. And that becomes a clickable link. So, again, I could drag that into a story entry and give that to my players and name each link for my player. But then when I click this, it's going to open up a new Cleanfeed window for them. They're going to click start. They don't have to sign up for an account, anything. And it automatically mutes them, which is good because you can see it. Since this is my computer, it's my mic, but you don't want their voice in Cleanfeed. This is just for them to listen. So they're going to be able to listen here. And I think this just gives them a little more information on the connection and the speed and what have you. And I don't recall, you might have to download another extension like Volume Master to control the volume within here. That might be, I don't recall that. Should have looked at that first. So it's as easy as that for the players to get connected. So now to show how the audio works, let's go back to Fantasy Grounds. So I'm going to play, I hotkeyed a couple of links. So remember, any of these play links, you can drag drop onto your hotkey bar. So in Sirenscape, I'm going to play Battle Begins. I always like that one. So you should be hearing that because I have that playing through OBS. But let's go look at Cleanfeed. So you can see I have it muted right now. If I click on this, it's now going to be playing. And if I go back to Voicemeeter, I'm not hearing it yet, but it should be playing back through, I believe I have it set to go directly to, I'd have to check. I think I have it going right back into Voicemeeter aux. I don't recall offhand, but you can see it's transmitting. So once the players connect, then they'll be able to hear that no problem. And the same thing for VLC. If I stop this for a second Let's stop all for Sirenscape. And then let's go into a VLC. So I did Cursed Attic, which is in the VLC. I've already uploaded a bunch of sounds, and there's another video again by Bane that shows you how to do that. But if I click on Cursed Attic, I will start playing, and you should be able to see again. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's playing here. So again, if I want to mute and don't want the players to hear for a second, I can click mute. But then you can see that that's transmitting just fine. Awesome. So I'm going to go back up, and then again, you can loop that if you want, and I'm going to stop. It'll stop. It won't fade it out with VLC. It just stops it outright. Okay. So that's Cleanfeed. That's it. Free, easy to use, works really well. I used to use it all the time. So I'm going to get out of that. So then Audiomovers, you have a lot more functionality. And if you once you log in, there's a web player. So you're basically going to launch the web player with a link, real simple. You're going to log in just what it says here. You can drag and drop an audio file here, or how I've done it in your audio input. You click this drop down. You're going to select VAIO3 output, which is where I'm sending my signal. If you want to monitor it, you can monitor it here yourself so you can tell the quality of the output. So like here, I'm going to put this to cable A input so I can hear it. But right now you can see there's nothing playing, nothing's going on. And I'll show you that in a minute. But if you go up to session settings, it's going to be a little bit hard to read, but you can change the latency from anywhere from 0.1 second to 1 second. So literally, I'll move it to 0.2 seconds. And then for the quality, you can do anywhere from 128 kilobits using the Opus codec up to 256. And those are both compressed. You can also use uncompressed PCM 16-bit, 24-bit, or 32-bit. I usually use the 256-bit. I feel like the rest are probably overkill and might hurt your bandwidth. So once you have those settings set up, you hit OK. And then if you want to start streaming, you're going to click here. But before I do that, let's get a sound going. Let's go back to our battle begins in Sirenscape. Down here, battle begins. So now I can tell you're hearing it. That's pretty loud in my ear, but it should drop down as I'm talking. So as we do that, let's go back into our Audiomovers. You can see these are grayed out right now, which means I'm not transmitting, but I can hear it because I'm sending it to cable A, and you can hear it because I'm transmitting to OBS directly. But if I go back to my Voicemeeter Potato, you can see I'm hearing it because I've got it set to my AirPods. So I've got it coming in through this strip, out through B3, and then I'm hearing the quality back as I'm monitoring it in A2. But yeah, if I toggle these off, then you wouldn't, like if I toggle this off, you can see how that volume goes completely off in Audiomovers. You're still hearing it because I've just got you're just hearing the playback directly because I have that set to OBS to hear the playback. And then as soon as I hit B3 again, then I'm connecting it. Now, again, it's not streaming yet. So the way I stream is I click Start Stream. It'll tell you it'll tell you when you have clients connected, and you can have up to 10 people connected at one time with the license I have. But you can see it's green, it's working just fine, and I copied that link. So again, you can drop that link into chat, and it's the same link for everyone. And then if they click on it, say yes to all or yes, then that'll open up a link for them. And they start listening now, and you can see it streaming. They can mute it, they can do whatever they want, they can change the volume here, up and down. There's also a mobile player. You can just listen on this through your iPhone. So you could literally just launch the free Listen To app on the iOS store and listen to this directly. Now, this might be because I'm listening on my AirPods, but this is showing 0.5 seconds latency, and I think that's because I'm on my AirPods. I think I've had that before. But you can see I'm transmitting in stereo, Opus 256, and 48 kilohertz. So that's it. I'm going to stop that streaming. I'm going to stop that altogether. And let me stop the audio in Sirenscape. All good. Yeah, there you go. So, I mean, look, a couple other things. I'm using the web player in Firefox for Sirenscape. Everybody has different experiences, but in terms of bandwidth, I still find that Chrome takes up a lot of bandwidth for me. So I'm just using the Sirenscape player myself right out of Firefox. So other than that, that's about it. So again, a couple other options: Cleanfeed free and Audiomovers paid for. I do like what I get with Audiomovers, so that's why I support them. That software is made for real-time collaboration with musicians, so I feel like they've really got it dialed in. But Cleanfeed worked for me as well. I believe you can do the same with Video Ninja. Some of you that stream use that for video, and I think you can use that as well. I didn't have time to test that before I did this video. That's it. I'll do some more videos to come, but just wanted to do a quick advanced video and show you some other options for getting sounds to your players in Fantasy Grounds. So that's it for now. I hope any fathers out there, I'm launching this video on Father's Day, so I hope you're all having a great Father's Day. I hope to see many of you around the Fantasy Grounds forums. Thanks all.